Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies. We're doing our next show, and that is episode 6 of Chucky, called Panic Room, season 3. And when I think of Panic Room, it wasn't what I thought of for the White House.
Well, it also technically is a reference to another movie. You know, there's that one Panic Room movie with Jodie Foster or whatever. I haven't seen it, but
I have.
Maybe that could be a reason why they picked the title, because for some reason they're really into just parodying or just taking movie titles for this show, like, instead of, like, just original titles that have to do with the episode.
I don't know, but I thought I did think of that movie.
Really?
And this is the White House, and I'm like, I don't think that's it, what it's called. And I think what they were talking about was like the Situation Room. I think that's what it's called.
Or the War Room?
Or War Room, something
like in
that.
Doctor Strangelove?
Well, I was telling Marco when Osama bin Laden was taken out, they were all gathered together in this room. It's like a conference room. And basically it was like they had a big table and it was like a conference room. So I mean that's what I was envisioning. But Panic Room, I instantly thought that that's like in that house, Jodie Foster, that you have to hide in there in case somebody, and it's hidden and you can't get to it unless you have passwords and all kinds of ways to get in that are hard to find, and you hide in there. So that wasn't it at all. So anyway, well, the kids, this is what I thought is very funny. At the very beginning, we went on how these two boys, have to do their little hotel room thing.
Well, let's just get through the worst stuff in the episode first, because first off, Lexi berates them, and she says, that's
what I wanted to say.
We needed to stop Chucky, and you guys are off consummating your relationship, which I don't understand how she knows what they were doing.
Well,
like
she
how
can tell the way they're acting.
No, it's not really.
That's what I think it.
Queer. And, so that was really cringeworthy, that whole thing with, like, she was like, oh, congratulations, by the way, obviously, because I'm not going to, say anything negative about that. And, it was just so cringeworthy. And then there's this part where they're about to enter the White House with Grant. And you know that they just had to do this for agenda reasons. They had Jake and Devin kiss on the steps of the White House. And you know that they did that on purpose. Like, it's just like the thing in season 1 where they had to have the thing in that episode 6 or 7 where they kiss in the school hallway and while everyone walks by and they're like, what the hell? And then they kissed in front of that big cross. And then they kissed in the religious place in season 2. And it's like basically a lot of the show has been the creator of the show placing these two token gay characters in various agenda spots around the country and having them kiss is like a middle finger to people who don't like that.
Yeah,
and it's like...
I just wish they would stop doing that.
Yeah, like even people who don't care about them doing that, like us, think it's disgusting and we don't like it because it's like
it's not real. It's very
they're not likable characters either. They're extremely selfish, one-dimensional, terrible characters. They had a chance to be good characters in season 1, but now they're at the point where their whole character is basically we kiss on the steps to the White House, and that's our characters.
Yeah, it's very disingenuous.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like it. Because it doesn't really mean anything to me at all. And even if it was Lexi and somebody, it'd be the same thing.
Well, if it was Lexi and somebody, they wouldn't purposefully be having them kiss non-stop like they do with these two characters.
I guess.
You know, because nobody would care really, except, well, I mean, people would care, but they wouldn't care like the way that people care about this stupid shit. Seeing this shitty-ass agenda stuff just shoved in your face constantly, this whole series.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to say, I thought that was funny because we thought it was queer. I mean, they where they got the money, they stop at a hotel and they don't go back right away. And here they're supposed to be, she's setting it up so they can go back into the White House. I mean, she got that set up right away.
They're still not questioning where their substitute teacher is either.
Yeah, I know. She's just like, oh, she's just kind of gone off somewhere.
I guess she's out of the picture now.
Yeah, I would say so. In more ways than one. So anyway, they get back into the White House. Why? Well, because she wants to find her sister. I mean, but she does like the guy, and he is really nice. And so we have that, and then we have the president. If you recall last episode, the president was murdered by Chucky, and it was very gruesome. And it was very interesting because at the end of the show, in the extra part, they showed how they did this with, and it was very interesting, all the things that they had to do to achieve this scene. But anyway, so they don't show them finding the body and all that. That just happens automatically.
The thing that I really liked is right off the bat, her husband, his spirit, wrote on the wall that Chucky did it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool.
And the wife doesn't know, and the special investigator doesn't know who's Chucky.
And I will say, I still really don't like the special investigator guy.
I don't either.
He is probably my least favorite character of this season.
He doesn't fit.
He's very, very overly serious. And he kind of, I don't know, he's the worst. He's like that guy in American Horror Story right now, where he just sucks the energy and life out of anything.
Well, I just don't know how the Secret Service puts up with him, because he's like in their space. So I don't get that at all. Their job is to protect the president. And it's like he's kind of horned in on their job.
Yeah.
And that makes no sense.
The thing that I really liked, because I actually really liked the episode, except for the gay shit that isn't needed and isn't necessary and
doesn't fit, and
heavy-handed agenda shit. I really liked that they brought in Devin's character again, basically, but he's a different character, and he is the president's double, so that if the president dies, that he can pretend that he's the president. And I thought that is really, really cool. I really like this character because I like the fact that maybe his character has a chance of surviving this season. And that's really exciting for me because, I mean, he's such a great actor. He's basically been like one of the best things about the show is like just seeing his performances as these different characters. And so we see him throughout the episode, and he's a lot different than the actual president because he's a nitwit. And he said, like, I grew up being really bad at school, but I was always really interested in politics, and I'm also really good at impersonating people. And just seeing his interactions with these characters, it's like nobody wants him to be there. He's like this outcast character, but he's such a likable character, too, at the same time. I don't know. I really like that character, so I was really into watching him when he was on screen.
Well, actually, it made me think about, do they have body doubles for important people in office?
Yeah.
Because I do know during that horrible other administration, during COVID, they talked about Melanie or whatever her name is, and about somebody who looked like her, but it wasn't her. And so it made me think about that, and then it just made me think about the whole thing. Do they have body doubles for important, all over the world, for important presidents and et cetera, prime ministers and our president. And so that's what it made me think about it because obviously he just got back his part, but he's pretending like he's not him. He's a body double. So.
So I really liked that character. I thought that it was great to immediately after he's killed, he comes back as another character, and so I thought that was awesome. So, and then next, but go talk about other stuff, Safi.
Well, they don't know how they're going to pull this off for their children because their children aren't stupid, and they're going to figure it out. And like I said, they never show them discovering the body. They cleaned everything up, and they cleaned off the wall because it was written in blood. It said Chucky did it, and they're like, who the hell's Chucky? And so they're trying to investigate now, finding out who Chucky is. So then, like I said, the kids get back into the house, and I'm calling them kids because they're still, quote, kids. And they have, and the mother goes like, how come these kids are here? And he goes, don't you remember I told you we were going to watch a movie? And
they actually order food from the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I kind of like this part because it reminded me of something else that happened before, where, I don't want to directly reference it, but just thinking about, they could make anything at this White House kitchen.
They can.
And so, the last thing that you want to do is, have takeout food for some random reason.
And they have pizza.
And so, yeah, they have pizza that the White House chefs cook. And I thought, that sounds really, really good. And they all had dinner together, except for the mom was kind of nervous, and she was kind of I think she left or whatever. And then Chucky is with Joseph, or wait, what's the little boy's name? Teddy?
I don't know.
I think it's Teddy.
They call Joseph was the boy who died.
Yeah, I know.
Boy died.
But he's with Teddy or whatever, and
they're doing something bad. They do two things that are bad.
Talk about them, Safi. Say what you thought.
I don't know I don't know where they got it. First of all, just talk about the obvious thing. They go to a wall safe, and how do they get into it? Well, and how they know about it. Either one is another story. And so they get into the wall safe by using a birthday. And
Joseph's birthday.
Yeah, so they get in, and there's a gun in there. That's all that's in there. A gun. A handgun. And so they take that, and the little boy's going, what do you need that for? And then, somehow, he gets this little card, and I have no idea what it was. It's like a little credit card. Or, when you go to a hotel room, and it's a hotel key, you have to open the door using a card, and that's what it's, kind of like. But I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah.
It just showed up. You see Chucky holding his hand, and it's behind the boy's head. So maybe he got it off the president's body when he killed him. That's the only thing I can think
Well, they showed him getting the nuclear stuff at the end of last episode.
Oh, I missed it then.
Those two cards. So you literally didn't pay attention.
I didn't see it.
But
anyway, I was half asleep.
That's not surprising.
Well, it was 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
So anyway.
That's not surprising.
So what are they going to do next? Well, remember, Chucky talked to Tiffany last time, and she said, because he was depressed, he goes, I'm dying, and I'm going to be dead, and that's it. And there won't be any more of me, and, lamenting and whining. And Tiffany says, what the hell are you doing? You're in the White House. You can go out.
That was last
bang.
episode.
Yeah, that's right. So he's going to go out with a bang. And what does that mean? Well,
he takes Teddy. I keep wanting to call him Joseph because, I literally don't know his name. Or I don't know if that's right or not. But
I don't have
he
it either.
he takes him down with the body double down to the panic room, I guess. And they also kill a Secret Service person, or they kill a couple of them.
And they kill 2 of them.
On their way to the panic room. And I thought, I'm really liking this episode. It's because it's like, it's all Chucky. It's hardly any Jake and Devin and Lexi. And there's no Tiffany in this episode. So it's like...
That was really good.
It's so great that, like, we can have a Chucky episode where Chucky is, like, the main character, you know?
Right.
And he takes them into this panic room, and he wants to bomb Russia, and then China, and the North Pole.
And, like, why the North Pole?
To make all the children in the world know that Santa Claus isn't real.
Yeah.
And so, well, I thought, you know what I think, though? I think that the reason why he wanted to bomb the North Pole is because the people who made this show, they thought, we need to market this season as though he's going to nuke this wintry landscape. And people are going to think, when they see the wintry landscape, they're going to think Russia. But really, it's somewhere else. And so the North Pole was the only place that they thought of where they could come up with a legitimate reason.
And they showed 2 polar bears.
That's what I think. Because they showed a lot in the marketing. They showed this picture
I didn't see it.
of a bomb going off in this wintry landscape. And I think they did that as like bait. And so you'd think that they were going to bomb Russia.
Well, that makes sense then. So, but before that happens, where they're in the panic room, and you have Chucky, and you have the little boy, and you have fake dad, and the way, there's several different steps you go to before you do this missile attack. And one of them is you have to have a eye recognition. And Chucky had kept one of the eyes of the president that he ripped out, and he put it in his pocket. So he used that to achieve this, to get through one of the steps.
That was fun.
But anyway, before that, they have this meal. It's the high school boy, and Lexi says, "Just fuck it. I'm going to tell him." She says, "I really like you. This is real." But and then they begin to tell him all about Chucky. They're in danger.
And this character immediately believes them.
Because, the mother's acting very odd.
So
and
what?
She keeps making a double talk about the father.
Yeah.
Like first she says he's working, then she says he's sick. And they're like, well, where is he? Even the little kid was asking, well, where is he? What's wrong with him? So they go to find Chucky and the brother, because the teenager knows they're together. So they come down there too, and they have this big confrontation.
And surprisingly, Jake, or I think, he knocks the gun out of Chucky's hand.
He does.
And the president's body double grabs the gun and shoots Chucky, which I thought was awesome as well, because he saved the day, even though he's not the president. And then after that, Chucky wakes up for a second and says, fuck Santa Claus or something, and he bombs the North Pole.
Yeah, they had already aborted the other missions.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I mean, I don't know, because it was still late for it to do anything to help him, because there's no one in the North Pole. So, like, the whole thing of where he's trying to do, like, the ultimate sacrifice for Dambala, it's not going to work.
Yeah, so...
And then at the end of the episode, we see Chucky's ghost. And, of course, that's Brad Dourif. And he looks like he's getting up there. And, I actually just read yesterday that Brad Dourif has retired from acting in anything except for Chucky-related projects. So, and I would understand why.
Yeah, but he's really good.
Yeah, he's really, really good.
He's like an iconic. The voice and everything is very iconic. Nobody could, I don't think, repeat that or imitate it.
So now, even though Chucky's dead, Chucky is now haunting the White House.
Right.
And I thought, that's kind of cool. That's kind of fun. So we'll see how it works out, though, next episode, because every time there's a good episode in this show, there's bad episodes. And the show becomes bad again.
And they still have to find the sister. And this is bad because Chucky knows where she is. So how are they going to find her? And what's going to happen with Tiffany? Because you know she's going to make another appearance. And because I think the White House thing will be done. They'll be done with that and they go back or whatever.
I don't know. Because
I don't know either.
There's 2 episodes left.
Oh, okay. Oh,
the next episode takes place in the White House with the ghost haunting them.
Oh.
But then I don't know what the finale will be.
I see.
So I would say this episode's a B.
Yeah, I would give it a B too.
I thought it was good. So
it was very tight and it was very practiced and planned, and it made sense, you know, and it was fun, and it was Chucky. This is Chucky, and you know, they should show Chucky. So, I mean, instead of like in this other show, I mean, there's just, it's, I don't know, cardboard and empty spaces and fat lips. Oh, anyway, but no, it was good, and the only thing was this relationship thing that they just keep having to flash to, which it's disingenuous, it doesn't mean anything, and why show it? So, anyway, we both gave it a B, so looking forward to the next episode, and hoping that it's not going to be bad, like Marco suggests it could be.
It will.
As part of this usual pattern.
That's what always happens.
There's 2 more episodes, and you're like, well, what's going to happen? Well, the main goal of the whole season was to find a little girl. So somehow they've got to do whatever they can to find the little girl. And this thing with the president, that would be a whole can of worms. I don't know how that would work. So, anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become one of our subscribers. And goodbye, everybody.
Bye.